Welcome to this session where we want to look at the 2021 grade 12 paper 1. So we're going to go through everything, and you must make sure that you follow. Okay, you can pause the video, you first solve, then we compare our answers. That is very important. So without wasting much of our time, please can we start with question 1. Alright, let's get started.
Alright, so these are the phone numbers that you can get in touch with us. The first one is mine, and the second one is for a friend whom you can also get in touch with. Alright, so please let's get started without wasting much of your time. Thank you very much.
So this is our question 1. How do we solve? Question 1. So as you may know, the first thing that we're supposed to do is to get rid of the brackets here. So we're going to have 3 multiplied by x, we'll get 3x. This minus here, please take note, the minus and the minus here, we're going to have a plus 12. 3 multiplied by 4, we get 12 minus y. At this point, we put the like terms together. 2y minus y minus 3x plus 12. So this here, 2y minus y, we're going to get y minus 3x plus 12. So this is going to be our answer because these are unlike terms, the 3 of them. So we can't simplify it further. Is that clear? So we go to question 2. So we have question 2 here. How do we evaluate it? How do we evaluate this? Alright? So here you have to understand one thing. You need to understand one thing here. Okay? I want you to see the difference between this question as well as... So what do you see here? So negative is part of this 3. So as we multiply, when we are expanding this one here, it's going to be negative 3 multiplied by negative 3. As opposed to this one. For this one, we're going to have minus 3 multiplied by 3. Okay? So what we have in this case is going to give us, it is this one here, which is going to give us a minus 9 because... So I wanted you to see the difference here. So here, we're going to have negative 9. Alright? We're going to get negative 9 minus this side, this is going to give us 9. So these are opposites here. These are opposites. So what are we going to get? We're going to get 0 as our answer. Let's go to question 3. So we come to question 3. This is our question 3. Alright, solve the equation 2x minus 5 multiplied by x plus 3 is equals to 0. So in this case, what do we see here? These factors here, we already have 2 factors here. It's like we had the quadratic equation and now it's already factorized. So we have already 2 factors. So what are we supposed to do here in order to get the values of x? We are going to equate each of these factors to 0. So we're going to get the first one here and say 2x minus 5 is equals to 0, or x plus 3 is equals to 0. Then this one is going to be 2x is equals to 0 plus 5. The additive inverse of minus 5 is plus 5. Alright? Or the same thing here, it's going to be 0 minus the additive inverse of plus 3 is minus 3. So what do we get here? This is going to give us 2x is equals to 5. Or x is equals to 0 minus 3. 0 minus 3 is equals to -3. All right. And then here we are supposed to divide both sides by 2, so that we get x is equals to, you can divide here, 2 into 5, it's 2 remainder 1 over 2, or x is equals to -3. So these are the answers that we are supposed to get here for question 3. Let's move on to the next one, which is question 4. So we come to question 4. Use set notation to describe the shaded part in the Venn diagram below. So here, there's one thing that you are supposed to look at. Here. Which parts are shaded? All right? Which parts are shaded here? So set A is shaded in totality. And then when you come to this extension part that is shaded here, what is this? This is B. This is B intersection C. This other part that is shaded here. All right? So now, when we put them together, we are going to say what is shaded is A union B intersection C. The whole part of A is shaded as well as the intersection of B and C. So our answer, ladies and gentlemen, is this one. You get your 2 marks like that. We got question 5. So this is question 5. Find the equation of a straight line passing through the points 3, 4 and 7, So when we want to write the equation, the first thing that we do is to find the determinant. The determinant, we always use this formula when we want to find the determinant. All right? So we can pick this point here. We call this one x1, y1, this x2, and this one, this must be y2. Then we feed these coordinates in the formula. So we're going to have our y2 is 12 minus our y1, which is 4, over 7 minus 3. We're going to get 8 over 4. Then we'll get 2. All right. We are going to get 2. So our gradient is 2. I hope you have seen that. Our gradient is 2 here. All right. Now, having done this, we need to go ahead now and use the formula. The formula is y minus y1 is equals to mx minus x1. This is the formula that I use to write the equation of a straight line. Okay. So at what is going to be our x1? Our x1 is going to be 3. Our y1 is going to be 4. If you want, you can pick these coordinates. You'll still get the same equation. Our m is the gradient, which is 2. So we go on and replace y minus y1, which is 4, is equals to 2x minus 3 here. All right. And you go on and get rid of the brackets, minus 6. All right. So at this point, we can go on and say y is equals to 2x minus 6 plus 4. This 4, we bring it to the other side. Okay. Then we go on and say y is equals to 2x minus 2. All right. This is what we are going to get as our equation. Sometimes they would write it as y minus 2x is equals to -2. You still have the same answer. Is equals to -2 is still 1 and the same thing. All right. Please take note of some errors that I may commit when working out these things. These are suggested answers. I am prone to errors. Thank you. Let's go to question 6. Okay, so we have question 6. How do we factorize this question? Sorry, this is supposed to be square. Okay, how do we factorize this question? This is cubed. Okay, this is cubed. I hope it's clear. This. So what is common first of all here on 3 and 12? 3 itself can go into 3 and 12. On x is also common. Okay, so this is what we're going to have. Now here when we remove 3, it's outside, 1x is outside, so here we remain with the x squared minus 12 divided by 3, we get 4. This x is outside, so we remain with the y squared. All right, so you check what is inside, and when you closely look at it, you'll be able to see that we can factorize this one using a difference of 2 squares. Okay, you square 4 also. 4 can also be written as 2 squared. Okay, 4 can be written as 2 squared, then you have y squared. Both of them are squared, so you can put them in brackets and bring the square outside. Okay, so now when you check what is in the brackets, we have a difference of 2 squares. We have a difference of 2 squares. All right, so the final answer is going to be, how do we factorize the difference of 2 squares? So the first one is going to be 2y, x plus 2y. The second one is going to be x minus 2y. This is what is going to be our final answer on question 6. We got question 7. So we deal with 7a, then we'll come back to 7b. I think this is the simplest question, one of the simplest questions. Yeah. How do we transpose a matrix? How do we transpose this matrix? What is the transpose of this matrix? So it's a situation where this row, the first row is going to become the first column here. The second row is going to become the second column. The rows become columns. It's as simple as this. This is what is going to be our answer. All right. So we come to B. Matrix P is 2, -1, 0, 3. And matrix Q, -1 and 3. So find the product. This is multiplication, meaning we have to multiply these two matrices. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen? So how do we multiply these matrices? P multiplied by Q is equals to 2, 1, 0, 3 multiplied by -1, so -1 and 3. So let's go ahead and multiply these matrices. How do we multiply matrices? Row by column, row by column. Okay, row by column. So we're going to have 2 multiplied by -1. This is going to give us -2 plus -1 multiplied by 3. This is going to give us -3. Okay, this is a row by this column. Then we come to 0 multiplied by -1. 0 multiplied by -1. This is going to give us 0 plus 3 multiplied by 3. This is going to give us, then the final answer is going to be -5, 9. This is what is going to be our answer finally. So we can go to question 8. So here is our question 8a. Take note of that. This is question 8a. Question 8 has got 2 parts. Okay, it has got A and B. So please take note, this is question A. Okay, So now it is given that the universal set is equal to the first 8 whole numbers. The first 8 whole numbers. What are whole numbers? Please, you can pause, Google, find the answers. And then the even numbers. All right? We need to know what whole numbers are, what an even number is. So the whole numbers here, the whole numbers, the first 8 whole numbers are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, and 7. Okay, so these whole numbers are these numbers starting from 0 up to the infinite. Sometimes we say they are counting numbers including 0. So the whole numbers we start from 0. So the first 8 whole numbers are these ones here. So we can count them just to be sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the first whole numbers. Natural numbers, we start from 1. Then what is an even number now? What is an even number? An even number is a number that is divisible by 2. An even number is a number that is divisible by 2. All right? So when we start from 0 here, when we divide 0 by 2, what do we get? We get 0. So 0 is an even number. 2 can't go into 1. 2 can go into 2. So 2 is an even number. It can go into list set A. We have listed set A here. Ladies and gentlemen, what is your answer? Probably the debatable on 0. That's the answer. You can check, you can research. Is 0 an even number? All right. We move on to B now. So B is here. And it reads, a certain company sells shares at 1 kwacha 13 ngwe per share. One share, that is 1 share is equals to, you buy 1 share at 1 kwacha 13 ngwe. All right? You buy 1 share at that amount. Okay? So a business woman had 9,100 kwacha to buy shares. How many shares did she buy? Okay? How many shares did she buy? So the amount of money that she had was 9,100 kwacha. And the amount per share was, isn't it? So we need to divide to be guided to know how many shares she bought. So we can divide and see what we are going to get. Okay? So how many shares is she going to get here? When you divide this one, this amount, what do you get? So we are going to get 7,000 shares. All right? Those are the shares that she got. I hope we are there. We got question 9. The third and fourth terms. This is our question 9. The third and fourth terms of an AP, which is arithmetic progression, are 6 and 3 respectively. Find the first term. A, that is B, find the formula for the nth term. So we need to understand these things here. Okay? the formula that we use to find the nth term of an AP is, isn't it? All right, take note of that. This is the formula, or if we want, we can still bring this on the other side. Where A is the first term, N is the nth term, as D is the common difference. So in this case, what is it that we know just? We know that the third term, which is A plus, if we put 3 here, the third term is what? Sorry. The third term is 6. Okay? And then for the other one here, the fourth term, which is A plus, now 4 minus 1, D is equals to 3, isn't it? So this gives us what? A plus 2D is equals to 6. This gives us A plus 3D is equals to 3. So we have two equations here, this equation as well as this one. So we can now solve these two equations simultaneously. We need to solve these two equations what? Simultaneously. I hope that is clear. So simultaneously means we bring, we can bring this one here and say A plus 3D is equals to 3. Okay. We bring this other one down here and say A plus 2D is equals to 6. Then we solve now these two equations here using this one of the simultaneous methods that you are comfortable with. So as you may see here that A has the same coefficient, so we can eliminate A. So to eliminate A now, we're going to say A minus A, we get 0. Then we come to 3D minus 2D, we just get D. Then 3 minus 6, going to get negative 3. So D is equal to 3. This is our common difference. So A is the first term. So to get the value of A, we need to get one of those two equations. And where there is D here, we put what? Negative 3. So we're going to say A plus negative 3 is equals to 3. All right. So then we say this is going to be equal to A plus, this is going to be minus 9 is equal to 3. Okay. So as you may know that if this is equal to, this will just be the same as minus 9 here. So this will be equal to 3 plus 9. A is equals to 12. A will be equals to this at this point here. Okay. From this point we can say A is equals to 3 plus 9. Then A will be equals to 12. So A is the first term. So if you want, you can try it here. If you want, you can try it and see what you are going to get. You'll be able to get, so for the first term, the answer is 12. For the first term, the answer is 12. Okay. For the first term, the answer is 12. A is equals to 12. The common difference, although they haven't asked us, is equals to negative 3. Then this question saying find the nth formula, find the formula for the nth term. So nth term, we have, this is our formula. So now in this case, we know our first term is A plus N, we do not know what it is, and we know what our common difference is. All right, our common difference is negative 3. So we distribute now. So I have 12. You are multiplying each one of these terms by negative 3. So we're going to have minus 3n plus 3. Okay? Then you put the like terms together. 12 plus 3, what do you get? So t n is equals to 15 minus 3n. This is what is going to be the answer. All right. So we go to question 10 now.
All right. So these are the phone numbers that you can get in touch with us. The first one is mine, and the second one is for a friend whom you can also get in touch with. All right. So please, let's get started without wasting much of your time. Thank you very much.
So we have question 10A. The probability of getting a black button from a box is 2/9. Find the probability of getting a button which is not black. Simple. Simple. Okay? The probability of getting a black button plus the probability of getting a button which is not black must give us 1. Okay? So if the probability of getting a black button is 2/9, then what is the probability of getting a button which is not black? So you know this is very simple. The probability of a button which is not black is going to be 1 minus 2/9. How do we solve this fraction, people? This is very simple. I'm sure you know that. But let me take it for granted that you have issues. The lowest common multiple here of 1 and 9 is 9. 1 into 9 is 9. 9 multiplied by 1. We get 9 minus 9 into 9 is 1. 1 multiplied by 2 is. So we are going to get 7/9. The probability of a button that is not black. Mkwai, this is our answer. Atuzumanan. So question B is on mensuration. Very simple question. The diagram below shows a sector AOB with the center at O. Okay, this is the sector of a circle. And radius, this radius from this point up to this one, this is 21 centimeters. Okay? The angle subtended at the center is theta, and the area of the sector is 462 centimeters squared. So calculate the value of theta, given that pi is 22/7. All right? So we are given area here, so we need to know the formula for the area. Okay? The area is theta multiplied by, isn't it? This is the formula that we use to find the area of a sector. Now, you have to take note that in this case, we say this is the area. We can even bring it the other side. In this case, area is given and we are looking for theta. So we'll go on and say theta 360 multiplied by 22/7 multiplied by 21 multiplied by 21, because r is squared. Then The area is given as 462. I hope this is very clear. At this point now we can begin to simplify. Remember, this is paper 1 where you do not have a calculator. So now we say theta 2 into 360, it's 180. 2 into 22 here, it will be 11. 7 into 7, it's 1. So there will be 1 here, which becomes irrelevant. Then 7 into 21, this is going to be 3 multiplied by 21, and this is equals to what do we get? 4, 6, 2. I hope this is very clear, ladies and gentlemen. I hope this is clear. So we broke down this, we simplified 11, 1, 8, 7 here, 1, 7 here, 3. That is where we are now. Okay? So there's one thing that you're supposed to understand here. There is one thing that you have to understand here. Alright? There's one thing that you have to understand here. And that thing is when you can multiply f throughout here. Okay? All these, they are together like this, isn't it? All these are together here. So the next step is where we say we cross multiply. So to cross multiply, it will mean that all these will remain here. Okay? Then 180 will come this side. Okay? I hope that is very clear. I do hope that is very clear. Okay? Or maybe if you want, just a minute, when we still had 180 here, okay, we can say 3 here, 1, 3 into 18 is 6, okay? So meaning, here we are remaining with what? 60, okay? Now, if you want, we can again go further here to say 3 here. 3 here, how many times? It's 20, isn't it? 3 here, it's 7. I hope you're getting that. We are simplifying. Take note that we do not have a calculator in this case. Okay? I hope I haven't left out anything. So at this point now, this side we are remaining with Q, theta. This is theta, not Q. Theta multiplied by 11 multiplied by 7. This will be equal now to 462 multiplied by 20, where I said you cross multiply at that point. Okay? So this side we no longer have this. Now, this is a point at which I would say we have to begin to work out this. We have to begin to work out on both sides and simplify to see what is it that we are going to get. Okay? That is the bottom line. So we are going to have 77 theta is equals to 462 multiplied by 20. Okay? Usually I don't like multiplying this on these two because we do not have a calculator, so we are increasing the size of the value. So at this point we can divide 77, even this side 77. Alright? So we are going to have theta is equals to, can you divide 77 into 462? How many times? Can you divide? We are going to get 6, isn't it? We're going to get 6. 77 into, it goes 6 times. So 6 multiplied by 20. Okay? 6 multiplied by 20. What do we get? We are going to get 120 degrees as the value of our theta. Are we there? Question 11. So we are On question 11, which is earth geometry, the positions of the three towns A, B, and C on the Earth's surface are shown in the diagram below. A, B, C. Okay? A plane flying a distance of 4,500 nautical miles directly from town A to town B takes 5 hours. Find the speed of the plane in knots. Alright? So there's speed. Speed is involved here. So we know that speed is equals to distance over time. Speed is equals to distance over time. Alright? So what is the distance here? The distance is 4,500 over time. The time taken was 5 hours. So let's divide. What is our speed? So our speed is 900. So 900 knots. 100 knots. Knots in the sense that this is in nautical miles. Alright? So basically this is what we are going to get. So we go to question B of 11. So we have B. If town C is 5 hours ahead, okay, is 5 hours ahead of if town C is 5 hours ahead of town A, find the longitude marked X. Alright? Find the longitude marked X. So, as you may know that usually this is what we do, isn't it? Know that from if we have this point here, A and C, they have their difference in time, okay, is 5 hours. A is on the west of C. And then you should also note that B and C, they have the same time. B and C, they have the same time, isn't it? And you should also note that after 15 degrees, we have an hour. Okay? So definitely we know that this is going to be in the east. So what we are supposed to do here, what we always do, we say we find the difference, isn't it? Now in this case, this is going to be obviously 25. Okay? 25 is on the west. And if these two places, they are 5 hours apart, definitely you know that the other side, it will be the east. If we are considering the concept of after 15 degrees, we have an hour. So when these two places are on different sides, we are going to say we add this one. And then we are supposed to divide this by 15 degrees because after 15 degrees, we get 1 hour. And we are told that when we divide these two places, the degrees that we are going to get from these two places, we should get 5 hours. So now we just have to solve this as an equation. Okay? So we are going to have 25 plus x is equals to, we multiply these. Okay? When you multiply, what do you get? You're going to get 75. Alright? Am I right? You're going to get 75. Then now you get x, you say 75 minus 25. All right? What are you going to get? What are you going to get? 75 minus, what do we get? Okay? So x is equals to 50 degrees. X is equals to 50 degrees. This is what is going to be our answer. I hope you are following. All right. This is what's going to be our answer here. So if you add this and that, you get 75. 75 divided by 15, you get. We go to the next question. So we come to question 12. A learner measured the length of a line to be 2.2 centimeters. If the actual length is 2 centimeters, find the absolute error. Find the absolute error. Okay? Find the absolute error. So, absolute error is equals to recorded value minus true value. Okay? Recorded value. Okay? Recorded value is 2.2 minus the true value, which is what? 2. What are we going to get? 0.2. Okay? This is what we're going to get, isn't it? Absolute error, this is what we are going to get. Then, percentage error. So, percentage error is equals to relative error multiplied by 100%. Okay? Now, relative error is equals to absolute error over true value. Okay? So the absolute error is 0.2 over the true value, which is 2. We have to multiply this one by 100. Okay? You need to multiply this by 100. So what are we going to get? If you want, we can divide this one here. We divide 2 into 0. It gives us 0. 2 into 1. 2 into 2, it gives us 1. Multiplied by 100%. Okay? You multiply by 100. So what do we get here? This is going to give us 10. So we are going to get 10%. We are going to get 10%. All right? I hope that is what you are also getting. I hope that is what you are also getting. All right. Question 13. The points A, B, C, and D are on the circumference of a circle center O, such that angle AOC is 126 degrees, or, this is very important here, or AO is parallel to DC. Very important. AO is parallel to DC. and angle OCB is 23. Okay. So let's see what we are supposed to do here. First of all, I want you to understand one thing here. Okay? I want you to understand one thing. We need to establish something. These parallel lines were not just given to decorate the question. No, we need to use them. So we have this case here. What do we have here? Here we have 126. This line is parallel to this one. This is where we have C and O is here. So one thing that I want you to know is this angle here, these two angles are called allied angles. Angles on the same side of a transversal. Okay? These allied angles add up to 180. So this angle and this one here. Alright? So if this angle is 126, what should be this angle? The two angles add up to 180. So this is going to be 54 degrees by that rule. By that rule. Okay? By that rule. It's very important there. I'm just finding these angles even before we get to establish what and what. All right? Then having said that, I also want you to get to know this concept here. We have, sorry. Okay. This is our center here, isn't it? So, what is this angle? This angle here is 126. What about the other one here? Let's find the other one. We need to subtract this one from 360 because a complete 10 is... So this other angle here is 234. Okay? Now I want you to understand something here. What do we say about this angle here? To get this angle that is here, we say we divide this one by 2, isn't it? Are we there? We say we divide this one by 2. So similarly, to get the angle that is this side here, we need to divide this angle at the center by 2 to get this angle here. The one that is this side. Okay? So, we need to divide 234 by 2 to get the angle on the circumference. So you will discover that this angle here is going to give us 117 degrees. Okay? This angle here is going to give us 117 degrees. Is that clear? You can use that concept, or you can still, when you find this one, when you find this angle here, we can go ahead and find this one also by dividing it from, by dividing this one. When you divide this angle by 2, what do you get? You get 63, isn't it? Am I right? You get 63. Then if this is 63, okay, if this is 63, you know that these opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral, this angle and this one, they should give us what? 180. So when you subtract 63 from 180, you will still get the same. All right? You will still be able to get the same. I'm just explaining even before we find. Then, what this angle is here, it goes back to that rule which I first explained about the parallel lines. So this angle also be 63. Okay? Because these 4 angles, when we add them, they should give us 360. All right? I hope that is okay. I hope that is okay. Okay? So which other angle is remaining here? We have only one angle here that is remaining. This angle here. How do we find this angle? Okay, how do we find this angle here? For me, I'm finding all the angles. I'm not paying attention to what they have asked you to do because I'm helping you to revise. That is my attention also. Okay, so if we have, let's do this. I can do this. Okay, so what angle do we have here? This angle here is 117, and then this angle here is 63, and then this angle here, what do we do? Let's add these two angles here. 56, we add 56, we add 54 and 33. What do we get? This is going to give us 87. So this is 87. What about this angle here? This angle, we already have 63. What about this other part here, which we don't know? So we can call it x. Okay, we can call it x. So what I'm saying is that now you know that what are we supposed to do here? We add all these and equate them to what? To 360 and see what we're going to get. What do we get? All right, let's add these. Or in other words, we are going to say x, which is that angle, which is this part, if I call this part x here, is equals to 360. Why 360? The four angles in a four-sided polygon, which is a quadrilateral, add up to 360. So we begin to subtract all these angles here now. What are we going to get? Minus 63, minus 117, minus another 63. What do we get? Okay, let's see what we're going to get. Let's work it out. So this is going to give us what? 30 degrees. This is one method that we can use. The other method that you can use also is this method. Okay, is this method here, where you get this thing like this, isn't it? We got, this is 33, this is 63, then this angle here, you need to know this angle here. This angle, we got it as what? 234. Then you have this one. You can also do the same. You add these and subtract from 360. You will still be able to get 30. So this angle here is equals to 30 degrees. I said I'm only helping you to revise. So I've found all the angles. I hope they are correct or they match with yours. So let's now find ADC. ADC. ADC is 117. ADC. Then we have OCD. 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 What are you? Here we have 54. The last one is BAO. BAO. What do we have? We have 30, isn't it? 30. Well, these are the answers that we have. These are the answers that we have. So I did not only pay attention to getting what they asked you. I wanted to help you just find everything. Okay. So we can go to the next question, which is question 14. We have question 14. The diagram below shows 3 points, J, K, and L, on level ground. K is due east. Okay? K is due east. So what does due east of J? What that means is that this is 90 degrees here. That is what it means, that one. Okay? Even this one here also. It's like it's 90 degrees. Okay? And angle LJK is 70 and angle JKL is 30. Calculate the bearing of K from the bearing of K from J. The bearing of K from L here. The bearing of K from L. So it's very important here that we get to know the bearing of K from L. So what are we supposed to do in this case? So at this point L here, we need to have a north. Then the bearing that we want, the angle that we want is this one. All right? That is very, very important. The bearing of K from L. Now, let me extend this one also here. So you need to know that if this angle here, you know that the whole angle on a straight line is 180. So if this is 90, 70, it means this smaller angle here is equals to 20. I hope that is clear. Then this is alternate to this one. Okay? This is alternate to this one. So it means this other angle here also is 20. Now let me bring you to this. If this angle is 20, is 30, this one is 70. What about this angle? We need to find all these angles so that the three angles in a triangle add up to, so this will be 80, isn't it? This one is going to be 80 here. This one is going to be 80. All right? Now, if from this 80 here, we remove the 20 that is this side, what do we remain with? We're going to remain with the 60. So here, we're going to have 0, 6, 0 degrees. That is what is going to be our answer. Ladies and gentlemen, I pray and hope that you're following. Then the bearing of J, the bearing of J from the bearing of J from L, the bearing of J from L, the bearing of J from L. So the bearing of J, where's J now? J from L. It's going to be this one. All right? That's the bearing of J from L. So now what is it that you are seeing here? We have this case from J, we say it's this angle that we want. And what do we have here? We have 20. This 20 is what we do not want. So you need to remove this 20 from 360, which is a complete 10. Okay? What do you get? You're going to get 340 degrees. That is what is going to be our answer here. All right? We go to question 15. So we come to question 15. I'm writing these questions so that you clearly see, because in the past when I'm solving on the paper, you say they are not very clear. Remember that your core is our duty. Okay? So the functions f and g are defined by f(x) of x plus 9 over 2 and g of x is equals to x minus 2. So find the inverse of f. So what do we say about the inverse? The first thing we say, where there is f of x, you put y, then you say x plus 9 over 2. At this point, you solve for x. In other words, you make x the subject of the formula. By doing what? You cross multiply, you're going to have 2y is equals to x plus 9. So what is the value of, what are we going to get as x? So x will be equals to 2y minus 9. Eventually, we are going now to have, this is what we have, okay? This is what we have. Now, the final answer, which is the inverse, we need to replace back an x here where we have y in the equation. This is what we are going to have as our answer for the first question. I hope that is clear. Let's go to the second one. So the second one is a composite function. So it means that we have our fx is equals to x plus 9 over 2. Okay? Look at x. Fx. So when we say fgx, now it means the position where there was an x here. What have we put? Gx. So this will mean that here where we have an x, what are we going to put? X minus 2. Then plus 9 over 2. This is going to give us x, or we can bring it down. This is going to give us x plus 7 over 2. I hope you know this. You take note of this sign here. That gives us 7. All right? So this is what is going to be our answer to this particular question. All right? I hope that is clear. Then we have this one now. We have this one. Take note that here, what did we get? X plus 7 over 2 on the second one. Then here now, what are we saying? Where there is an x, here now, instead of having an x, there is a negative 5. So we're going to put a negative 5 here. So it will be negative 5 plus 7 over 2. What do we get? This is going to give us 2 over 2. Finally, we're going to have 1 as our answer, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we got question 16 now. We come to question 16a. Find the equation of a straight line which is perpendicular to the line 2y minus x is equals to 3 and passes through the point negative 4, 1. Okay, so what are we supposed to note here? The word perpendicular, very important. Okay, so we have a line, for instance. There's a line here. Okay, now we want the line, the equation of this line, for instance, the equation of this line. Okay, and this line passes through this point, and it is perpendicular to is equals to 3. All right, so you need to know that when two lines are perpendicular to each other, gradient 1 multiplied by gradient 2, the product is negative 1. So the first thing that we're supposed to do is to find the gradient of this line. How do we find the gradient of this line? So we need to make y the subject of the formula. So we have 2y is equals to x plus 3. We take x the other side. Now remember, we need to make y the subject of the formula. So we'll divide throughout by 2. So we have y is equals to x divided by 2 plus 3 divided by 2. Then now at this point we get the coefficient of x as our gradient, and the coefficient of x is 1 over 2. So this is our m1. Okay, this is our m1. This is our m1. So what will be our m2? Our m2, already the fact that the product is supposed to be negative, so our m2 must be a negative. So it will be the reciprocal of this one. So it will be like negative 2 over 1, which is just the same as what? Negative 2. All right? I hope this is clear. So now, we need now to write the equation using the formula isn't it? So we take this one as our x1, this one as our y1. So we have y minus 1 is equals to our m. Our m is negative. In this case, because of this is perpendicular to the other equation, so we get this one here, negative 2. So we have negative 2, then x minus x1 is negative 4. Take note of that. So we go on, say minus is equals to negative 2x plus 4. Okay, because of the negatives here. So we have this negative 1 is equals to, you distribute, you are going to have negative minus 8. We have y is equals to negative minus plus 1. All right. Then y is equals to negative 2x minus 7. This is what is going to be the equation, ladies and gentlemen. So it's going to be our equation. I hope that is very clear. Are we together? Let's move on. Tien pasogoro. Natulea mkwai. Gatuya gumbele. Okay, so we are on question 16b now. Computer, very simple question. In the answer space below is an incomplete flowchart for calculating the curved surface area of a cylinder. The curved surface area of a cylinder. All right? With radius r and height h. Complete the flowchart. Very good. Okay. So we want the curved surface area of a cylinder. Curved surface area of a cylinder, isn't it? So you need to know the curved surface area of a cylinder, like the formula. Okay? The formula. All right? So the curved surface area of a cylinder. So we have, for instance, this is a cylinder, isn't it? Something like this, okay? So what we mean by the curved surface area, we do not want this, the bottom part should not be there, even this top part should not be there. We want, okay, the middle, the curved surface area, it's this middle here, okay, minus this, minus that, this one here, the middle part, that's the curved surface area, isn't it? Okay, so we are going to get, what is the formula now? You need to know now. Unfortunately, these things prominently they are taught in grade 9, 8 and 9 about the formulas. So the formula is this one, of a curved surface area minus the two ends, all right? So once you know the formula, then it becomes very simple. Once you know the formula, then it becomes very simple, because now we just have to start entering these and then get the answer. So you know that this part here, we say enter, okay? What are we going to enter? R and H here. Then curved surface area here. You can say curved surface area, which is represented by the letter A. Curved surface area, which is represented by the letter A, is equals to, now we can write this in full. We always say these numbers are already there, like in the computer, they initialize. So we say 2 pi, okay? Remember, we are multiplying. So this is what we are supposed to get. This is what we are supposed to write. Everything is already done. It's only those two parts that we're supposed to do. This is our 16B. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope I've made myself clear. Okay, next question. So we come to question 17. And question 17A reads, the figure below shows a parallelogram with center O. Describe fully the symmetry of the parallelogram about the center. Okay, the center is here. Describe fully. So, in other words, what were we talking about here? We are talking about the order of rotational. The order of rotational. All right. So we are going to say the answer is going to be it has, okay, rotational, symmetry of order 2 about O, which is this point here, the center. So the order of rotational symmetry of this one is 2. So that is the answer. We come to B. The diagram below shows triangle A, which is mapped onto triangle B by a single transformation P. By a single transformation P. All right? A is mapped onto B by a single transformation P. Then the question is, describe fully the transformation. Now, when you look at these two triangles, they are a mirror of each other. If we take, this line here. All right, let me draw this line here. Let me draw this line here. Okay. This line here. Okay. Now, when you look at this line, these are special equations or lines. What do we call them? This is y is equals to negative x. Okay? Or we can say negative y is equals to x. Okay? So these two, they're a reflection. This one is a reflection of A. Okay? On this mirror line. So we can say, to describe here on the description part, what can we write? We can say this is what? It's a reflection. The transformation is a reflection in the, if you like, you can say in the mirror line. Okay? Y is equals to negative x, or you can say negative y is equals to x. That is what we are going to have here. I hope this is very clear. So we come to question 18. It is given that y varies directly as 2x and inversely as z squared. And y is equals to 4 when x is equals to 8 and z is equals to 2. Find the value of k, the constant of variation. All right? So you know in this case that we are going to say y varies directly as what? 2x and inversely as z squared. All right, so in terms of an equation, we're going to write this as 2k multiplied by 2x over z squared. So we're going to have 2kx over z squared. All right, so now we have to find the value of k. Y has been given here that y is equals to 4. 2k, we do not know what it is, multiplied by x. X has been given as 8, while z has been given as 2. So we need to square this one, don't forget. All right, so I'll go down and say 4 is equals to 2 multiplied by 8 multiplied by k over 4. Are we together? Then 4 into 4 is 1, 4 into 8 is 2. So I'm going to have 4 is equals to 2 multiplied by 2, it is 4. Then 4 multiplied by k, we're going to have 4k. Alright? So, to find the value of k, we're going to divide both sides by 4. Therefore, k is equals to 1. Are we there? The value of k is 1. So we get back to this equation now and say we need to have the equation that we're going to use now is since k is equals to 1. So where there is k here, we're going to put 1. So we're going to have 2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by x over z squared. So we're going to have 2x over z squared. Okay? So when you read question B, it says find the value of y when x is equals to 27 and z is equals to 3. Find the value of y when x is equals to 27 here. Then z squared, this must be 3 squared. All right, so this is going to give us y is equals to 2 multiplied by 27 over 9. I hope you understand where 9 is coming from. It's a product of 3 multiplied by 3. Then in 9 here it's 1, 9 here it's 3, isn't it? Then so y is equals to 6. Y is equals to 6. I hope that is clear. Then the last one is find the values of z when x is equals to, remember we are using this same equation, 2x over z. All right, so we want to find the values of z when x is equals to 24 and y is equals to 3. So where there is y, I'm going to put 3, then 2 multiplied by 24 over z squared. Is that clear? So at this point, if I do cross multiplication, I'm going to have z squared is equals to 2 multiplied by 24 over 3. These will switch positions. Z squared will come here, 3 will come down there. So I go down, say z squared is equals to 3 here, 1. 3 here, what do we get? 8. Okay, so we have 2 multiplied by 8, which is equals to 16. So z squared is equals to 16. Now we want to find the value of z. So we're going to say z is equals to the square root of 16. Therefore, z is equals to positive or negative 4. It's going to have two values. Okay? 4 or negative 4. All right. That is what we're going to have as our answer. So let's go to question 19. Okay, so we come to question 19. So as you can see, the question has two parts. So the first one is integration. So we are supposed to integrate this one with respect to x. All right, so you know, so we have, we need to integrate this one. How do we integrate? How do we integrate? So we are going to say a. So the integration here is going to be 6. So on this, to this power, we are supposed to add a 1. We add a 1, then again we divide this down here. So minus 2x. Now, bear in mind that on this part here, we have a 1. So we add another 1 over 1 plus 1 plus 7. Now, on this 7, it's like we have an invisible x, which is raised to the power 0. Okay? So now, at this point, we need to add a 1 here. Okay? From here, we add a constant. All right? So this is going to give us 6x to the power 3 over 3 minus 2x to the power 2 over 2. So here we're supposed to have is plus 7 over 1 plus c. So what do we get here? So this is going to give us 3, you divide it into 6, this will give you 2 power 3 minus 2 divided by 2, you get 1. So this is the answer that we are going to take home. This is our final answer. Let's go to the second one. Let's get to the second part. So we get the second part, which is the areas of two similar cylinders are 64, okay, over 36, okay, respectively, that is. So if the height of a larger cylinder, which is this one, if the height of a larger cylinder is 30 centimeters, okay, it's 30 centimeters. Find the height of the smaller, so we can put just h here. So what are we supposed to do? So we can simplify this part here, all right, so that we get the ratios that we need. We get the ratios that we need, okay? So at this point, as you can see here, all right, as you can see, this part is like we have the squares here, so we can simplify this one here by taking the square roots only, because we are talking about the we need to have uniform units, okay? So what are we going to get here? this is going to give us 8 centimeters. This other one is going to give us what? 6 centimeters. And then this side, what do we have? We have 30 centimeters over h. So we can go further and simplify this one to have 4 over 3. This is equals to 30 over h. Okay? So at this point, we can cross multiply. So when we cross multiply, we're going to have 4 multiplied by h, we have h, which is equals to 3 multiplied by 30, you have 90. So h, you divide both sides by 4. Okay? When you divide both sides by 4, so we have 4 here, it's 2, remainder 1. 4 into 10, it's another 2, remainder 2 now, isn't it? Remainder 2. Okay? Remainder 2. Then on that 2, if you want, you can add a 0. You can add a 0. When you add a 0, it becomes 20. 4 into 20, you get this one. Okay? This is the answer that you are going to get. So let's go to the next one. Okay, so we have question 20. Okay, so I wrote these questions because sometimes I get comments like they are not clear if we use the actual question papers. Okay, so in the diagram below, AB is equal to 3 centimeters, BC is 4 centimeters, and the AD is 13. Okay, so that is that. So now, the question is calculate the value of tan DAC. Okay, so we are supposed, first of all, to find the value of this side. That is very important. Now, you know this is Pythagoras theorem, and I do not think that by the time we're in grade 12, we should struggle with Pythagoras theorem. So if you are familiar with Pythagoras theorem, to find this side here, I'm just going to say, okay, to find this side, which is like the hypotenuse, it's going to be equals to 4 squared plus 3 squared. And this will give us 16, this will give us 9, which will be 25. So the square root of 25 is 5. So this side is 5 centimeters. Okay? This side is 5 centimeters. So take note of that. All right? Again, if you want to use Pythagoras theorem, again we can go further and find, we can go further also and find this one using Pythagoras theorem. So it will be like now, this side, which is, we can even call it x, it will be equals to 13 squared minus 5 squared. Just do this, you will see that it's going to give you 12. You first get 144, then when you square 144, you get 12. So this is 112. Okay? That is very important for you. So now the question is talking about calculate the value of tan DA, Okay, calculate the value of tan D A C. Okay, now tan, this one here, isn't it? So the most important thing for us is first of all to know that tan theta is equals to what? Okay, tan theta is equals to opposite, isn't it? Opposite over adjacent. Okay, so tan DAC is equals to the opposite. What is the opposite to this side? The opposite is 12. The opposite is 12 over the adjacent. The adjacent is 5, this side, 5. Then when you divide here, what do you get? This is going to give you 2 over 5, or 2.4, isn't it? That's what you are going to get. I hope that is clear. We come to question 20B. A is a point, okay? So OA in terms of is this point, and OB, so this is 1, 2, this is -2, 5. Okay, then I've written them like in terms of the vectors. That is the way I've written them, because these are, if we are using them as vector positions. Okay, or is it position vectors? Oh yeah. So now when we say find AB as a vector column, so AB is equals to AO plus OB. Okay, so AO is going to be the opposite of this one. If this is OA, then AO, we're talking about, like, we'll put a negative to this, plus OB will be as it is. Okay, that is what we are saying. That is what we are saying here. -3, 5. So this is the same as we say -1, -2, then -3, 5. Okay. Sorry, this is -2, not -3, -2 here. Okay, so when you simplify this now, what do you get? You're going to get -3, here you will get 3. So AB is equals to -3, 3 here. This is what is going to be our answer. Okay? Question 21. Write 3 inequalities that define the unshaded. Okay? That define the unshaded. All right? So we can start with this one. For me, what I'm seeing, this line is a dotted line. This line is a dotted line. So if the line is dotted, you need to write your inequalities in, and this is cutting the x-axis. So it's going to be x. Then the unshaded region, or R, is on the right side of this. So it is greater, like this. Greater than what? 2, because it's on 2. Okay? But if this line is solid, there are no spaces. If there are no spaces, you would write it as x, like this. That's how we're going to write it. Okay? So for what I remember, I think this line was dotted, but if it's not dotted, you write it like this. Then we go to the next ones, which could be now this one. So these ones, what you need to do, you first of all get these 2 points. So like this point here is 2, 0. We can also get that one, which is 6, 4. Okay. After you have these 2 points, let me, even this other line, you are supposed to do the same thing. So you're going to have 0, 8. And the other point, it will still be the same one, which is 6, So the first thing for both of them, don't confuse them. I'm doing them simultaneously. For this one, you need to first of all write the gradient, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Even here, we'll do the same thing. So we're going to say gradient is equals to, this is our x2, this is our y2. Even here, this is our x2, this is our y2. This is our y1, this is our x1. Here, this is our x1, this is our y1. So we say y2, which is 6 minus 0 over, sorry, it's 4. Sorry. It's 4, isn't it? Yeah, it's 4. 4 minus 0, then is 6 minus 2. All right? This, and this side, it's going to be again 4 minus 8. 4 minus 8 over 6 minus 0. So what do we get here? Here we'll get 4 over 4. Here what are we going to get? Negative. Here we're going to get negative 4 over 6. You can simplify this one as negative 2 over 3. This is our gradient here. Then this side, our gradient is going to simplify as 1. Okay, so I'm doing them simultaneously. And then after we have done the gradients, now we need to write the actual equations by using this formula, even here. Okay? So with regard to which point that you pick, we go for this one here. You can go for this one. Our gradient is 1. What is our y1? Our y1 here is 0. So I'll write 0. Okay? I'm going to write 0. This is equals to 1. Then x minus 2, which is this one here. Okay? Then I'll go on now and say, oh, sorry. This is supposed to be minus here, minus. Then when you distribute this one, you end up with this. Okay? Now you should know that which one is this? This one. Okay? So this region that we want is above this line. It's greater. So I'm going to write it. Because the line is solid, I'll write it like this. This is what is going to be my other answer. And this side, what do you need to do this side? You also say minus 8 here is equals to negative 2 over 3 x minus 0. Okay? We're using these coordinates here. So we're going to have minus 8 is equals to negative x, because this will be 0, isn't it? That part is going to give us 0. You have to take note of that. So at this point, if you want, you can say this one, you can bring it to the other side. Then you write the final equation. But also if you want, you can cross multiply here. You say 3y minus 8 is equals to negative 2x. Okay? So you can now say 3y minus 24 is equals to negative 2x. Okay? And from this point now you can say 3y plus 2x is equals to 24. This is the equation. But like I said, even at this point it will still be the same thing if you brought this one the other side. We're just trying to standardize it or write it in a format that we are familiar with. So from this point, okay, from this point now, we are looking at, when we are coming down here, we are looking at a region that is less. So to write the final equation, we're going to say 3y plus 2x is less than or equal to, because the line is solid. So we have this equation. That's what we're going to have. Let's go to the next one. Okay, so 22 has two questions. The first one is given that the square root of 2 is equals to 2 to the power x. Find the value of x. So how do we write this one? So how do you rewrite this one? You need to be familiar with the indices. So you need to rewrite this part as, so this is 12. You can rewrite this one as 1 over 2. Okay? So I'm rewriting that part here as 2 to the power 1 over 2. So it will be 2 to the power 1 over 2 is equals to 2 to the power x. So the rules of indices say that when the base are the same, you equate the indices. So x is equals to 1 over 2. That's the answer for the first one. Okay? Then the answer for the second one is the diagram below shows the graph of, this is the graph here, okay? The graph cuts the x-axis at A and B. Find the coordinates of A, find the coordinates of the points A and B. What are the coordinates here? What are the coordinates here? Now, one thing that you're supposed to know is that you already know that y is 0 here. So it's like we know that the coordinates of A, we have the x coordinate, comma 0 here. Even on B, we know that we have the x coordinate, comma 0. So it's like the y coordinate, we already know it because they are on the x-axis. Y is 0 here. Okay? So what we'll be doing is that on this equation, where there's y here, we're going to put a 0 and ask ourselves, what are the values of x when y is equals to 0? Because y is equals to 0. So you say, I'll write this and say negative x plus 2, then x minus, okay, is equals to, are we there? I'll put 0 here. Well, because we're asking ourselves, what is x when y is equals to 0? So what do? You need to equate each of these. You equate each of these factors to 0. So we're going to start with negative x plus 2 is equals to 0. Or this one is equals to 0. Okay? So when you solve this, for instance, if you are going to start with this one, when 2 comes the other side, it will be negative 2. And this one will be 5, will be positive 5 when it comes here. Then here you divide by negative 1 by negative 1, so you have x is equals to negative 2. I mean, x is equals to 2 and x is equals to 5. Now, we have 2 and 5, but you know that from 0 we start with 2 before we go to 5. So these are the coordinates of these 2 points. All right? These are the coordinates of these 2 points. I hope that is clear. We look at the last. Okay, so the last one, the diagram below shows a speed time graph of a moving object. Find the acceleration of the object at t is equals to acceleration of the t is equals to 3. Okay, so t, this 3, you know that it's between what? It's actually somewhere here, isn't it? That's what we're talking about. Where t is equals, that's what we're talking about. Okay? Now, acceleration is the same as the gradient. Okay? Acceleration is the same as the gradient here. So, all these points that are on this line, they have the same what? They have the same acceleration here. The slope of this one, you know that acceleration is the same as the slope, the steepness or the gradient. Okay? So, at any point here, the gradient is the same. At any point, the gradient is the same. So, we can calculate, if we can actually use what we have here to say what is acceleration. All right? So we can use what we have here. As you may know that acceleration is equals to final velocity minus initial over time. So using what we have here, I told you that it is the same. So we're going to use what is prominently given, which is 24 and 4. So the final is 24 minus the initial, where it started from here, it's 4, over time, which is 5. So this is going to give us 20 over 5. When you divide, you're going to get, all right, this is what is going to be our acceleration here. Okay? So, given that the object decelerates at t, 2 meters per second square, find the value of t. Okay, so we are looking at deceleration. So deceleration, for me, what I do, I just swap these. It's the opposite, isn't it? Initial minus final over time. Okay? Isn't it? So, deceleration here has been given as 2. Okay? Deceleration has been given as 2. Then, the time that is now from this now, the initial, it starts from here, which is 24, up to 0, which is this point. Then the time that was taken from this point to this point, how do we account for it? Okay? So time, you know, we are looking at time from this point to this point. So for instance, if you want to find the time difference here from 5 to 10, what do? We usually say 10 minus 5. We usually say 10 minus 5. So even in this case, to find the time here, we are going to say t minus 10. Okay, so from this point we can cross multiply and say t, 2 multiplied by t minus 10 is equals to is equals to 20. Am I right? Is equals to 24. Okay. Am I right? Yeah, so from this point, I think we can divide this side by 2. You also divide this side by 2. This cancels. So you have t minus 10 is equals to 1, 2 into 2, it's 1, 2 into 4, it's, that's what you get. Then t, when you take 10 the other side, so it will be 22 seconds. Please, these answers are subject to their suggested answers. You may have different ones. Okay, then the last one, calculate the average speed of the object in the first 10 what? In the first 10 seconds of the journey. So we need to, first of all, as you may know, speed is equals to distance over time. So time, we already know it's 10. But the distance that was covered here, as you may know, we need to find the area of this area, this part, as well as this one. Okay? The first 10 up to here. So this one, how do we find this one? This is very simple. It's like here, what is this? This is 5. So the distance is equals to L multiplied by plus. This is like a trapezium, which is 1 over 2, A plus B, then H. Okay, so for the bigger one, we have here it's 5 multiplied by the longer side. Here, from here, it's what? 24. Or you can do it, you can swap them. Then here we have 1 over 2. Then remember the parallels here. The parallel sides are the ones that are A and B. So you have 4 plus 24. Then this side it's 5, which is the height. The height here, it's 5. So you have, when you multiply these two here, what do you get? You get 0. And then you multiply by this 1, but I think you get 120. Am I right? Am I right? This is going to be 2. And this is going to be, let me just this is what we're going to get. Then plus 1 over 2 multiplied by, you add this, is going to give us 28 multiplied by 5. So you have 120 plus, you divide this one here to be 14. Then this is going to be 120 plus 70, isn't it? And this is going to give us 119 meters. Oh, no, not 119. It's going to give us 190 meters. To give us 190 meters. So that is what we're supposed to bring here. When you simplify, speed is going to be 19 seconds. This is what will be your answer. Alright? Thank you very much for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe to our channel. Bye-bye. Thank you very much for watching once again. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Until next time.